Right, we are back for another episode of my F125 My Team career mode. Now quickly, I want to mention, guys, apologies, last episode for the lag. I have a little bit of that at the start of this episode, but I actually fixed it midway through. I've been troubleshooting for the last couple of days, and it's been driving me crazy how I've not been able to fix the issue, but luckily, I finally have. Now, you can see here on screen, we have a failed MGU-H. Now, funny enough, we literally put that into the car of Carlos Sainz last episode at Austria Reverse. If you want to see exactly how that happened and how it went, go check it out. Previous episode linked in the top right. Now let's talk about today's episode. We begin freshening up components on both cars. Fingers crossed we have no more mechanical failures, because the last one really hurt Carlos Sainz's Drivers' Championship hopes, and also was a pretty big whack in the Constructors' Championship. Now, we do receive an inheritance of R&D points from the failure, but the reality is it's irrelevant. We are not upgrading anymore. And yeah, I wanted to just quickly highlight how things are looking heading into the British Grand Prix. This is pretty much the halfway point, around 12 out of 24, and you can see we've maxed out. So there's no more upgrades for us to make, except for supplier upgrades. But at the minute, those seem to be very, very, very infrequent and very few far in between. So in the meantime, we're stuck with what we've got, and we're going to have to make the most of our current situation. Now, we begin today with activities, and we're going to go for a team restructure. We're also going to skip engineering in its entirety, as we're not doing anything on that right now. We're going to do a podium celebration. We're going to also add in a driver wellness session, and also we're going to go all the way over to the corporate to just, again, as always, do a marketing campaign, advertising campaign specifically to improve title sponsor loyalty and fan rating. Now, in personnel, we've received contract negotiation legal staff level 3, which does mean if we go into the facility improvements, we are almost done. All we have to do now is finish up these hiring facility upgrades, level 1 up to level 3, and that will be it. Now, in corporate, we have a quick event to take care of. A controversial product has been launched, and we have to either publicly distance ourselves from that product or do nothing and just let the product launch and deal with the criticism and back that product being launched by our title sponsor. So I actually chose to do nothing. I'm gonna side with the title sponsor and hope that everything goes well. But regardless, we begin to skip ahead, and we have some other updates. Now, one of them was actually from the corporate facility event that we just did. So as you can see, this is going to be the fallout from the previous interaction, and you can see we actually gain title sponsor loyalty from that one. So I'll consider that a good decision. In terms of engineering, we do receive a couple of facility improvements, simulation software upgrade, material test suite, I believe. As we delve in, we're going to basically, again, do what we always do. We're going to get 3 more, and we're just trying to burn through these. These are irrelevant. They're not going to change anything for our team. We've already maxed out, so we're just basically doing these to improve the team wherever possible. In personnel, we do receive the level 1 hiring and engineering and corporate, so we're now going to go ahead and get those in level 2. Of course, we've already got personnel level 1 cooking away in the background, so we'll get those on and keep moving forward. Now, with that out the way, I want to quickly just test the waters and see exactly what the market looks like, and specifically one particular driver. That is Max Verstappen. Could we tempt him? Could we float a contract his way for next season? Let's find out.
I've reached out with a very early preliminary inquiry to their side. I'll let you know how it goes. Hard to get a read on it at the moment. These things are always fluid and move quickly, but if they're interested in us, I'm sure things will move a bit quicker.
So, let's see. Let's see how that goes. This is going to be a work in progress. Now, we are going to select Pierre Gasly for today's episode at Silverstone, which features rain in qualifying. Now, it does say mixed forecast, but qualifying seems to be mostly wet. It does seem to reduce and dry up a little bit as it goes along, but no dry icons, no sunny icons or overcast icons. Now, our drivers are 1 point apiece. Things are fairly level, fairly similar heading into this one, as we quickly are going to just do our setup. Now, I debated what sort of wing levels to run. Silverstone, a very tricky circuit to get right because of the corners and the long straights, but we're going to go a little bit lower on the drag and kind of opt for a bit more straight line speed. Now, We go over to practice into our programs, and we have a little bit of traffic exiting the pits. One car specifically, Franco Colapinto, the former driver of this team, making himself very visible at turn 3. Luckily, we got through without any big issues, finished our programs, and it was job well done on the race sims.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
Now, with out of the way, here is the data. So tyre wear, slightly above average. Fuel consumption, excellent. Below 41 kg, that's really, really good. So, yeah, really the only key thing is going to be tyre overheating and tyre wear for the race. You can see our pace was fairly consistent. Not too bad, to be fair. In general, I'd say that was a pretty decent run, pretty consistent run. And yeah, we finished a session, though, down in P12, which was a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie, Science P5. Our laps were really good, and the fact that we got 2 seconds put onto us, that was a bit of an eyebrow-raising moment for me. So hopefully that was just a bit of a either quali sims, or I did sim time, so hopefully a bit of a time sim, unrealistic improvement. Either way, practice done. Let's get to qualifying. Of course, that rain, which could be a big factor.
Welcome along, everybody, to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
The radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain. The rain's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So as you can see, absolutely pouring down here at Silverstone, but intermediate tyres are the way to go for the time being. So we'll see how this all kind of works out in the end. We pass Russell down the hanger straight now towards Stowe, looking to close the lap out strong here and get a decent banker on the board. Down to the last chicane, on the brakes, looking to try and keep it nice and tidy as we head through the last couple of corners. And now around the last corner, up to the line we go. And our first lap's going to be, not bad. P3 behind the McLarens, we'll take that. That's not too bad at all. We eventually go back to the garage, and towards the end of the session, there was a pretty noticeable dry line forming. And everyone was going back out on Inter, so no dry tyres yet. But as we heard with the radio before, the track is going to keep drying in theory, so it seems like we are going to have to go back out because the track is evolving quickly. So we're going to head out. We went out on the exact same set of tyres as before, so Ocon goes quickest. We saw him before on track on the Inters, so that confirms the track is drastically quicker. So we begin our lap, and I can say straight away, like literally, we hit the track and we begun the lap. And before even hitting the brakes, we were 3/10 up at turn 3. And yeah, at this point, we just started finding time everywhere. And we're already a second up in the first sector alone. Eventually, we finish the lap. You can see Tsunoda goes quickest as we are nearly 3 seconds up. We go purple in the middle sector. Other cars crossing the line. Actually, surprisingly, a lot of cars have stayed in the pit lane, more than I thought. And actually, I think we may be safe here. We don't need this lap. But I'm taking no risks, and we're currently P15, now P16, so I think we're safe. I think we're just on the cutoff, but I'm just going to make sure we get this lap together and take no risk, and we do actually finish in P5. But you may notice a few colours are missing in the team tower. Big scalps in this one. Both Ferraris are out. We lose a McLaren. Lando just scrapes in. We also lose George Russell. We lose Max Verstappen and Colapinto at the back. So literally 2 out of the top 3 in the championship are out. Lando nearly got knocked out, but that suddenly now changes the complexion of this entire race weekend, because all the favourites will be starting.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
All the favourites will be starting from the back of the grid. So also, this makes it likely we can fight for pole because all the big boys are out. Now, to my knowledge, it's Albon in the Mercedes and Norris in the McLaren, who are still kind of competitive face. I think Tsunoda's in there as well for the Red Bull. So yeah, Norris is going to be probably the man to beat. Now, we invalidate our first lap. I stayed out I went just literally for a half lap cooldown and went again. And as we'd begun the lap, DRS got enabled. Now, the track wasn't fully dry. It was sort of drying. The grip wasn't there. It was getting faster lap after lap after lap. So I just wanted to be on track, really, and be there for when the grip was evolving. Now, most cars were actually in the garage at this point. But we kept on with our kind of run plan. We go purple in sector 1. Sainz has a 125.5. That was a couple of seconds quicker than the next car. So he was really setting a strong benchmark. And as we now head onto the hangar straight, we are also going to be looking pretty good as we are purple in the 2 sectors. Up to the line we go.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
We beat Carlos by a 10th. However, I had enough fuel left, so I actually did a cooldown lap. And we're going to go for just one more, because I want to see just how much the track has evolved during a cooldown lap. And we're going to try and see if also the plan here is to get through on this set of tyres. I don't really want to have to box and put another set of softs on. I want to just try and make it with these and save tyres for Q3. So already 3-4 tenths up in the first sector alone as we head down the Wellington Straight. First sector is going to be basically half a second up as we improve on our time. So a really good start to the lap. The grip at this point feels really good. Like, the track feels pretty much like it's there, like it's, you know, dry conditions. So I'm quite happy with the grip levels here. And I think if we get this lap together, this should be good. Through the old turn 1, it's easy flat now compared to the start of the session where we invalidated. And now into the S's, currently a second up. So we've also gained another half a second in the middle sector. But here we're going to gain even more lap time, and we're going to cross the second sector split 1.2 seconds up. Now, sector 3, we head down to Stowe. Really fast corner, carrying supreme speed here. Could have carried a bit more, to be fair. There was more grip than I thought. The track is drying really quickly, and now into the final chicane through the left and the right, nice and tidy, and it's going to be almost a 2-second improvement here, and that was actually way more than I expected as we go quickest with the 123.6. However, I went back to the garage and I decided to sim the rest of the session because I thought my lap would be good enough, but it wasn't. We got caught up. There was actually even more grip on the track than I thought to be found, and we got knocked out in P12. So more qualifying surprises, and yeah, Sainz setting the pace in that one. Hopefully he can bag P1 in Q3, but Norris made it through, which is not ideal. Tsunoda made it through, and yeah, also Alex Albon. So the big boys are into Q3. Those 4 will contest pole. For us though, it's qualifying done, and the early Q2 exit with Pierre Gasly.
Welcome to not only the home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Tsunoda, Albon, Esteban Ocon and Stroll, Doohan, Lawson, Hadjar and Ollie Behrman, Crawford, Gasly, Paul Aron, Hauger, Bortoletto, Pepe Marti, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Oscar Piastri, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
So it's officially showtime. P12 on the grid. Now you've seen qualifying. We have a massive opportunity today to potentially put a massive dent in both championships. Now, I'm not going to guarantee anything. There's still a Mercedes and a McLaren up there, but there's a good chance we can try and fight for a double podium or even a 1-2 finish. Either way, there's no excuse why we can't get the result we're looking for. So we're going to go all out, all guns blazing to try and cut through this traffic ASAP and get to the front as quickly as possible. Now, let's talk about strategy. So for this one, medium hard, very simple one stop based off the race simulations from practice. No soft tires, which I expect that AI will be using softs. That's my guess, that's my prediction. No rain forecast. We've got the fuel ready to go. So we're going to get straight in and just see what happens. And hopefully we can get that dream result. Fingers crossed also reliability holds up. Right, showtime. P2 for Sainz, P12 Gasly. All the big boys behind, barring 2 cars in P1 and P3, a McLaren and a Mercedes. I plan to be really aggressive on this first lap and basically get through all this slow traffic to hopefully get right in the mix straight away. Right, let's get to work. It's showtime. Revs, lights, action. Away we go. Everyone gets away fairly evenly. We've got the inside line though, on Crawford. A little bit cautious, just at turn 1. I'm going to go for it down the inside. Turn 3, bit of a squeeze there. As we all fight for the same bit of tarmac. Around the outside of turn 4. We get Hadjar and Behrman doing a bad exit onto the Wellington straight. I'm going to try and cash in here. I'm going to get the outside line. I want that for myself. Super wide. That Brooklands got a load of understeer and dirty air, but we hold our own, hold firm, and we're up to P8. Good start. Exactly what we need to do. Let's try and get Lawson also as quickly as possible. We're going to just stay nice and tight. Hopefully we get the exit onto the hangar straight. We're going to take a little recharge through the S's. Just set up the exit with the dirty air in mind. Here we go. Let's try and get through before DRS gets enabled. We've got the run. Lawson doesn't defend. So we go down the inside, pick that one up straight away. Albon's down to P5 in the Mercedes. That's great news for us as a team. Sainz holds P2. Oh no, sorry, P3 actually, I believe. Norris leads the way.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Right, let's see how the second phase of the race develops. But we're in the mix now, into the top 7. Okay, we're starting to knock on Stroll's door. I can't tell who's P2. On the minimap, it looks so tricky to tell apart all the different colours. It looks like Sainz is P2, the black dot, but it isn't. There's someone ahead of him in P2. Now, what we are doing here is closing in on Stroll. He's just lost DRS on Albon, so this is going to be our chance to get through and move into the top 6, which is huge for us this early on. Trying to stay as close as possible with third tier, of course. We've now got the DRS as we wind it up. We'll go to the left. Wider line, better line. Through Stowe, and we move up. Sainz has now got ahead of this group, so he's at the front. We'll see what sort of pace he can run now. Hopefully it's decent. So a small update. The wild card here is Yuki Tsunoda. He's actually in P2 and ahead of Sainz again. So at the minute, it seems like he's making a run for it. I'm not sure if Sainz maybe has damage because his pace does not seem great at this stage of the race. Hoping for a bit more really, but we'll see if hopefully he can regather himself and get going again. One thing that's for certain though is that Norris is starting to build a significant lead over everybody else. We've managed to drop Stroll, which is first objective. We're on for a personal best on this lap, or we were on for a personal best. I've lost it a little bit now in Sector 3, but pace is good. Bit of a wobble there for Albon. Pretty certain I saw him wobble anyways. At Chapel, where we're closing in, but this is the DRS attack now, makes it really difficult to make any inroads. I'm not sure if Sainz has DRS on Tsunoda. in P2, but I want to see if I can try and get these two and work with Carlos to get a result for the team, because that's going to be the priority now. I wonder if I can wind it up from back here for turn 3 on Albon. Let's see. Oh yes, big run through turn 1. Come on. Down the inside. A little bit wide of the apex. All good though, nothing too dirty or over the top. It's a fair move. Clean move. That's P5. Just got to try and get a charge up when I can. Ocon through on Sainz. Carlos not quite rocking with the same pace heading qualifying in the race, it seems. We'll have a look now once we get closer if he does have damage or not. Sainz back through on Ocon. My left rear is just starting to overheat on this lap as Ocon holds on around the outside. Fair play. This is allowing Tsunoda to get away in P2. I think the wind's gone. I think we're fine for second place today. To try and maybe get a P2, P3 as a team. Oh, hello.
Okay, clear.
That's a Ferrari at Cops. Sainz having a look at Ocon. Leclerc out. That's big for the championship. Absolutely massive. P3 in the championship out of this race. It was already out the points, so there's going to be a DNF. This is probably a good race for Leclerc to DNF from. That's massive for Lando Norris. Getting dirty air. Albon's really close, up close and personal with us, within 3/10. Luckily, we've got really good straight line speed, so we're going to hold on okay. But I just don't know why our teammate struggles so much. I mean, Pierre did good in the last race, but even still, he was sort of fading a little bit relative to the others. And Sainz, who theoretically is a better driver, can't even beat Ocon and Aston Martin. Granted, the Aston has improved, but you know what I mean. Right, we're pitting this lap. Now, what I'm going to do here, I expect Albon to stay out another lap, as he's technically designated number 2 driver. Of course, Russell's number 1. So my guess is that Albon will box next lap with Carlos Sainz. I think Ocon.
Okay, remember to pit this lap.
I think Ocon will box this lap, and so will Norris. And it'll stay out one more. So my plan is to basically just try and drop the wheel of Sainz so that Albon doesn't have DRS on him like such, and that will, you know, give Sainz no trouble on the in lap, so he can hopefully hold position. Does mean we lose a little bit of time ourselves, but hopefully Sainz can do better. But he's really struggling. Norris has already boxed and, you know, rejoined back into pit road, so he is just got a massive margin. So the target is P2 today. I think that's possible. We're going to try and undercut Tsunoda in second place. That's going to be the objective here. We need a good stop. That's the big question. It's big. It's 2.4. That's the best stop we've had in a long time. That's going to certainly help. Everybody's in the busy pit lane. We're going to get a clear track.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Small correction there. All good. Now, I'd love to get DRS on Ocon by the hangar straight. That would be an ideal scenario here. Try and strike and be the AI on cold tyres, but we'll see if we can make it happen. Big out lap though. Full push as we lock in. I don't know if we're going to make it. Detection point is right there. No, we didn't. Oh well, all good.
Carlos is in the pits.
Using every last bit of the battery to just basically close in as much as possible to Ocon here. So we'll have DRS on the Wellington straight, but let's see where everybody is. A bit of a lock up there. Front tyres are not fully up to temperature just yet. Now the objective with this, the goal, is to try and obviously jump Sainz, so it's a painless overtake as a team, but also to really close up on Tsunoda, and there he is. So that's worked out about as good as we could have hoped. Obviously I wanted to get DRS and Ocon on the hangar straight. That didn't quite work out, but here we are in the fight for second, and that's worked out beautifully. Also, Sainz still does not have DRS on Albon, so this is where I'm going to tactically see if I can bring him with us. So I will just lean off a little bit. Ocon will deal with Tsunoda. Let's see if Sainz can get my DRS. I might lose DRS for now, but the goal is to bring Sainz with me.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
I think Ocon and Tsunoda will battle, so they'll fall back to us. I just don't want Albon to go with Carlos. So we can try and drag Carlos away. Hard tires are usually better for us. So let's make them count for him. We are right in that awkward spot. 1.1 behind Ocon. 9/10 ahead of Sainz. Does seem like Tsunoda's actually going to drop Ocon here, so that will make things easier for us. Sainz is pulling away from Albon. So this is working out pretty well. One more lap, hopefully, we can get Ocon's DRS. Norris 24.3. Same lap time as what he did on mediums as the first lap of the race, so that's his pace. Right, this could work out here if we time this well. Let's see, we're within Ocon's DRS. Just need Sainz to close it into mine. And there we go, I think that's going to work out. I think we're all going to have DRS, which is perfect. All together in a nice little happy family, little train. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. Right, that's done. So now we can go about passing Ocon. Ocon's actually got some pretty good pace, to be fair to him. I can't fault it. At the minute, it's looking a bit tricky to catch Tsunoda, but I'm trying to charge. That's what I'm looking for. It's taking a bit longer than I'd like. But I just get ridiculous acceleration, so I have to use battery in acceleration zones. So it's not allowing me to save as much as I'd like. Right, let's see. Can I stay close through the S's? We might have a shot. Down towards Stowe. Took a bit of a risk there, getting the battery on so early, but I think we're close enough. We can try this. I want to not just pass, I want to try and drop him as well. And basically let him and Sainz fight for that P4. We're going to go Tsunoda hunting on this next lap. Even if we don't catch Yuki, I just want to make sure we drop Ocon. Absolutely critical that we do, so we're going to use everything and give it everything to try and open up a gap. Personal best. Let's keep at it. This is where I need an assist from Sainz and for him to just basically stick his nose down the inside of Ocon and just disrupt their flow a little bit. Albon's been dropped, so we've ticked that one off the list, which is important, and that's why we had to bring him with us. That's all our pace. I don't really have an answer. So at the minute, Ocon is coming with us for the ride. I don't really have a way to drop him. Oh, hello. That was out of nowhere. Ocon had a look down the inside there at Chapel, at all places. I did not expect that. I turned in to the corner completely unsuspecting that was going to happen. I just tried to open up the line because he was really close to me. So I was trying to get a better exit. Oh, that's indirectly giving us the break we need, hopefully. We'll see if I can make it count. I'm not out of DRS range yet, but that would be huge if we could drop him now. This might be the chance. We'll use every last bit of the battery here. Hopefully through turn one, we can get the drop. It's going to be close. I've used everything. A bit deep. Messed it up. Track limit warning. I think we may have dropped him out of DRS, but he's going to catch right back up because of my horrible line through there. We need Sainz to assist. Oh my god, I have nothing left. Ocon has a look. We outbrake him though, around the outside. Come on Carlos, I need some help. It's going to be P3 for us today. Top two are too quick. We don't have the pace, unfortunately. Ocon's going to get it run here. The AI just have endless battery. Absolutely endless. We just can't match with that. We run out. My wings are fine because at the end of the straight, I can stay ahead. But it's just their acceleration combined with their battery use just seems endless at the minute. We'll try and go back through here and try and disrupt his rhythm a bit, but we need Sainz to follow through and give me a helping hand, which isn't happening at the minute. Ocon back to the outside. Norris is absolutely dominating, by the way. That gap is ridiculous. We're pulling away on the straight. Ocon may have run out of battery, not sure. But we are opening a gap. Sainz is right behind him. If there's ever going to be a time for Sainz to go through, it's probably now. It does seem like whatever upgrades Aston Martin have done recently, their power unit with Honda is just so strong, so powerful. But I'm going to push here to try and make this count this time around. We'll see if we can deliver the gap we need. Although Ocon's closed up massively just in those last couple of corners alone. Yeah, I just can't match up. Acceleration's crazy. Ocon, here he goes again. He's got to run. I'm defending. We can hold that all day. I don't think Sainz is going to be helping me anytime soon. Ocon chooses to not go for the move, so we're going to head on to this last lap with the podium up for grabs. It's 2v1, 2 Cadillac v 1 Aston Martin. Let's see if we can try and get P3, P4. That'd be nice, but I don't see it happening. I think we're just trying to hold on for the podium, and that's about it, really. Bit of lap traffic up the road. I don't think that's going to factor in. There comes Ocon to the inside. I'll try and make this a bit of a nuisance. And now Sainz suddenly wants to get involved. Not ideal. Not ideal. Right, come on. Ocon's pulling away. He's actually driving away from me here. On the straight. And again. Come on. Just got to try and be close to Stowe. Lando wins on home turf. Can we nick this P3 back? Oh my god, that Aston's so quick. Whoa, yes. Big, big send. Astronomical send. We'll defend into the chicane. And keep Ocon at bay. And salvage a podium today. Whew.
Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes.
Here's the checkered flag. The fans rise to their feet. It's Lando Norris for victory.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
What a day it's been for Formula One, and what a day it's been for these 3 drivers. Time for the podium celebrations. Time for our drivers to celebrate. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.
Well, I'm not really happy with that one. That wasn't the race I had in mind. Now, I'm slightly more at ease knowing that the pace wasn't actually that great. The AI are very strong at Silverstone, and especially with maxed out cars, it's important to note our Q2 elimination was not a complete fluke. Like, I do think we lacked some pace. We saw in practice that was also way off the pace as well. So I just think this weekend we weren't actually that quick, and we had to genuinely work hard to salvage a P3. Either way, it wasn't the result I hoped for. I was hoping something more along the lines of Sainz P2, we get P3, but it wasn't to be. And, you know, did we potentially let a P2 go? Because, you know, we did catch Tsunoda, of course, with the undercut. Maybe, but it did mean that, you know, Sainz finished in P5, and you can see that Albon and Antonelli were right there behind. So it depends how you look at it, whether it's a team perspective or a driver perspective. Either way, we still get a podium and we get some decent points. So in the driver standings, Lando now has a massive gap with Leclerc's DNF and Verstappen only scoring 1 point today. Things have really taken a shift. Gasly's up to P5, of course, with the podium overtaking Sainz, who is P6. And yeah, generally speaking, both our boys are going to close in a little bit on Piastri and close in a little bit on Leclerc, but the gaps are still pretty big, which isn't great. In the Constructors, we're going to make some small inroads as well. We're closing on Red Bull, Ferrari still lead the way, McLaren close in slightly. But yeah, it's not really up to us anymore. Like, we've maxed out our car. So we are fully dependent on Ferrari supplier upgrades arriving to help us out. But In the meantime, I'm wondering, do we try and use maybe an SRC setup or not? Let me know. Comment down below. Let me know. Should we try and do that to basically get consistent fights for wins every weekend with whichever driver we control? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe. Let's try and hit 500 likes. As always, a massive shout out to the channel members. Check out the 2 videos on screen for more content like this. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. And that's goodbye from me. Ciao, ciao.